Chase here with Silencer Shop, and this is why Q. Oh wait, that's the wrong show. Howdy everyone, Chase here with Silencer Shop, and this is the Q Sugar Weasel. It's gonna be an AR15 platform gun from Q. You're gonna notice it's a little bit different than the Honey Badger. Starting at the back, the Sugar Weasel uses a standard AR15 buffer tube. The Sugar Weasel rifle will come with an MOE SLK carbine stock, so fully adjustable. Lets you get just the right length of pull for whether you have a little bit shorter length of pull, a little bit longer arm, so you can get this thing fit just right for you. Moving forward, it's going to use a custom Radian Raptor charging handle, clear anodized to match the rest of the gun. It's also going to use Radian selector switches. These are customizable, either 90-degree or 45-degree throw, and they're ambidextrous. So if you're like me and you shoot left-handed, you'll still be able to hit that selector switch and get to all of your controls super easily. And it's using literally the best trigger ever made. I didn't call it that. That is from Q. That is what it's called. It's a super crisp single stage trigger, literally the best trigger ever made. And the rest of the lower parts kit is also really high quality. You're not gonna find any cheap parts on a Q gun. These are gonna be really reliable and dependable. They're also using their BCG in here. And you're gonna notice the clear anodized receiver and handguard. So why does Q use clear anodizing? It's because it's the strongest. When you start adding dyes into anodizing, it can actually make that coating a little bit weaker. So Q decided to strip all that, make it as strong as possible, keep it clear, and that's why it has this kind of funky color that you don't see on a lot of guns. This is just how the aluminum looks once it's treated with regular clear anodizing. And Q says if you want it to be a different color, then hit it with a rattle can, paint it however you want, but this coating is gonna stay looking nice for the life of the rifle. Underneath the 15-inch M-LOK handguard is where the Sugar Weasel gets really exciting. This one's using a 16-inch barrel from Q. It's a 1-in-7 twist, perfect for those heavier 5.56 rounds. So if you're shooting 75 grain or 77 grain OTM, something that's gonna have a little bit more oomph and a little bit better velocity for shooting out to distance or for hunting, the Sugar Weasel is gonna be the perfect setup for that. It uses a really bulky barrel nut to keep the handguard secure, and that's so that this thing doesn't flex. So if you are using lights and lasers out here, they'll stay zeroed. You don't have to worry about that if you're shooting under nods or using thermals, and you're gonna use an IR illuminator or laser. You wanna make sure that that stays where it's zeroed, and this will help you do that. Also with that barrel, you're getting Q's proprietary adjustable gas block. It's one of the best in the business. It uses a jam nut to make sure that can't back off at all. So you're never gonna have problems with your gas block coming unaligned. It's kind of pinned in place without all the complexities of actually having it pinned in place. So you can remove that for maintenance or if you ever wanted to make any changes. It is using mid-length gas, and with that adjustable gas system, it'll let you tune the rifle depending on what silencer you're using to get the perfect amount of back pressure back into the gun to keep it running smooth, but so you're not getting gas in your face and eliminating as much of that port noise as possible. Speaking of silencers, moving forward, it is using the Q taper, that 25-degree tapered barrel, so it's not a square shoulder, and it will come with a cherry bomb already installed on the gun. Why is that tapered barrel important? Well, it's because it's gonna keep things concentric and keep them tight, so you don't have to mess with things like rock set or other thread lockers. Basically, the way the taper works, once your muzzle device is torqued down onto it properly, it actually takes more force to get that muzzle device off than how you put it on. So it's working to keep everything nice and tight. It's also gonna keep it concentric. There's no way that it can kind of go one way or the other while it's on that taper. It aligns perfectly to the center of the bore, which means when you're shooting a silencer like the Q Trash Panda, it'll also work with any of the other Q silencers that have the built-in Plan B attachment, or any silencers that you're using with an aftermarket Plan B hub mount. It's gonna keep it nice and concentric so you don't have to worry about baffle strikes and end cap strikes. That's kind of a thing in the past when you're using a really high quality barrel with a good mount on a good silencer. Everything will be in line, the bullet will exit as it's supposed to. You don't have to worry about damaging any of your expensive Form 4 silencers. The guys at Q really thought about everything when they were building the Sugar Weasel. Comes in at a good price point, it's super reliable, it shoots smooth, it has that adjustable gas block so you can tune it no matter what cans you're using, has the tapered muzzle that I really love. It's gonna keep all of your cans nice and tight and concentric. And somehow they made this gun weigh less than a lot of SBRs, despite being a 16-inch rifle. It weighs just over 6 pounds, but because it has that 16-inch barrel, there's no tax stamp. So we'll just ship it to your dealer. You can pick it up just like any other firearm. No NFA paperwork. It is super simple. And the Sugar Weasel comes with a nice metal mag that kind of matches the aesthetic of the gun. Q Sugar Weasel is chambered in 5.56, has a 16-inch barrel, so no tax stamp, and weighs in at just 6 pounds, 2 ounces. If you're looking for a high-end AR15 style rifle, the Sugar Weasel's really tough to beat, and we've got them here at Silencer Shop. If you have any questions about what cans to run or any questions on the Sugar Weasel, go ahead and drop us a comment below and subscribe to the newsletter. That's where you're gonna get notified of any upcoming deals, promos, or new guns and silencers. Thank you guys so much for watching.